room. Going to be talking Tiger Days today. Show you how to approve your own Tiger foods. The Tiger Day really helped me big time. Get down to the lowest body fat. Most of my days were some type of what we, in a fun way, refer to as Tiger Days. Get the eye of the tiger, right? So hopefully we can shed some light on those types of days. Then at 12 o'clock, we have Faithfully Fit. For the 12 o'clock class and for partners. This one at 12 is for partners and Faithfully Fit members, not a course, just a class. We'll be unpacking the benefits of berberine and how it rivals the prescription drug metformin. We'll talk about it, break it down, little deeper dive than normal, I suspect. And then at some point in the afternoon, either early afternoon or late afternoon, I'm going to go live for the Vault folks. There's still some folks confused about the meal plan. So I'm going to make sure that's broke down in more detail for those that are still struggling figuring out what to eat. Going over that again, basically, and making sure we've laid it out in a way it's a little more easy to pick your breakfast, lunch, and idea. I think the way we laid it out, it allowed for hundreds of meal ideas, but it was me making an assumption that everybody knew how to combine foods, and I know some people don't still. So we're going to just kind of give you some, maybe 25, 30 meal ideas that you can use and be successful in that vault with our vault strategy, drinking Zip. But just some fun stuff we'll be covering today. And then, of course, we have class tonight. Somewhere in between there, I'll lay down for a little bit and let Larry and Lisa have it. This today is jam-packed with sessions. So there's something for everyone today. Hey, Christy Cox. Hey, everybody. Hey, Missy. Got the Dalton group represented. Hey, everybody. Tabitha's in the house. Good to have everybody. Darla just showed up. That means we can get started. All right, y'all. Welcome. We got a jam-packed session for all of us. We'll do our best to unpack this in a way that is understandable. Hope everybody got in their peak performance today. And whatever else you use to sharpen the axe. We talked about that yesterday, that the 𝐂𝐨 shield is how we chop the tree down, so to speak. But we can chop that tree down with a dull axe. Got to have the axe. We can chop it down with a dull axe or a sharp axe. And I think walking and supplementation helps sharpen the axe so that we can chop down the tree with more efficiency. Either way, we're going to get it chopped down just with the 𝐂𝐨 shield. But the more of this stuff that you're able to incorporate, the more efficient your journey will be. I want to thank, first of all of our partners and Faithfully Fit members. You've been a blessing to us. You've really come through for us. We thank you so much. We have some new partners and Faithfully Fit members. We're getting it together so that we can start doing a better job of acknowledging those that will allow us to acknowledge them. A lot of anonymous folks trying to help out. And we love you. We appreciate you. I think we sold maybe close to 70, 80 books yesterday. Thank y'all for that. We had actually, God is really good. We had overdrawn our bank account by $2,600. So yesterday, if I looked like I was going to have a meltdown, that's what was going on behind the scenes, and I needed to get on the phone with the bank. And yesterday, through Venmo and through book sales and through the other channels, we brought in $4,400. Thank you. Thank you all. Praise the Lord. I'm going to try not to cry. Thank y'all. God really showed up through y'all. I know we've got a long way to go, but I think you should also celebrate the victories along the way. We won a battle, so we could not have done that without y'all. So thank you very much. So if I look like I have a little more vitality today, That's why. See, I wouldn't have said anything if we hadn't have overcome that deficit. But because we did, I just want to praise the Lord. All right, good. Everybody, this is exciting. We're not remodeling, we're building something new. Okay. Tiger Days. So let's talk about that because we have both lifetime members in here, have new folks, lifetime members, partners, Faithfully Fit members. We want everybody to go through Fast Track, take the test, pass the test, and earn the badge. And you probably should do that every year. Just go back through it. Go back through the fundamentals. Make sure that you're staying close to the standard. And that's drinking our water. Cheers, everybody. Drinking our water, 1/2 gallon to 1 gallon of water each day. Journaling. I've never seen anyone lose a lot of weight and not put most of it back on unless they had a journal. Journaling's important. If you bite it, you ride it. Combinations to control insulin. We're going to do a really deep dive discussion again into insulin at the noon session for partners and Faithfully Fit members. You got to control insulin. If you don't control insulin, there are other hormones getting out of whack too. Ghrelin and leptin levels get out of whack. Appetite's going through the roof. You don't have any control over that physical appetite when your ghrelin and leptin levels are all over the place and your insulin levels are high. So it's important to control insulin. The most powerful way that I know to control insulin is through adequate, slow digesting carbs coupled with adequate protein and fiber. Then you've got portions. You got to ration it. If you're in a calorie surplus, don't care what you're doing, you're gaining weight. Now, if you're eating good quality foods, you'll gain weight slow. If you're eating poor foods, poor processed foods, you'll gain weight fast. So surplus, doesn't matter how clean the food is or how good it is for weight loss. If you're eating too much, you can gain weight. About the only foods that you can overeat and not gain body fat is lean proteins and fiber. I don't care how much broccoli you eat, other than the weight of the broccoli in your gut, you're not going to put on any weight. Your body just can't take that and turn it in to energy, basically. And then same thing for lean protein. Grilled chicken with no fat added to it, you almost can't. And by the time you could eat enough to gain weight, you'd be so full you couldn't do it. So there's very few foods that you can get away with overeating. But those little tips, like knowing before bed, if you really feel famished, pulling you out some boar's head chicken breast and eating on that with a pickle. See, those things can save you. Now, while you sleep, you're not recovering well because you're digesting food, but it'll save you from putting on fat if you're overeating. Just that knowledge. Like when I get up and I go to the pantry and I'm staring at popcorn or boar's head chicken breast and a pickle, I'm choosing the boar's head chicken breast and the pickle if I'm trying to lose weight. So you just understanding how food breaks down in the body, you got to ration your food, get back to baseline. So no surplus. What we want to do is eat balanced quality calories, but we're not there yet. We've got to be in a deficit long enough to overcome the surplus that we were in. So that's where our portion rule comes into play. You're having up to 3 eating episodes: breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, dinner for the Holy Spirit. We're eating under the Lord, and we're controlling the overall portion. I'm about to talk about that. But your daily rations, do not eat more than 3 times a day. That should be our rule. Now, let's say that I have had my 3 eating episodes and I'm watching The Voice and I get the knickknacks. Then you can have that 4th one as long as it's approved, and you're probably in a maintenance range when you do that, unless you've got a lot of weight to lose, and then you can still lose weight. I lost my first probably 60, 70 pounds at least, eating 3 meals a day and a snack a day. But boy, I hit a plateau after that. So at some point, that snack's got to go. And then we eat our approved whole foods combined and recipes on a 6 to 8 inch plate, or use the 2-hand rule, or a 1.5 to 2 cup bowl if it's a soup. That's all we're doing. It's that simple. Well, don't I need to count calories? Not really. Not if you follow the guidelines I just laid out. Your calories will always be in check. How can that be? Because of the way we're combining the foods. We know how many calories are in 4 ounces of protein, how many are in 4 ounces of carbs, how many are in 4 ounces of fat. We know. So when we put those on a plate and we don't pile it up any thicker than the thickest part of our hand, the way that lays out, calories are going to be on point. We're probably going to be in a calorie deficit for that day until we get really close to goal. If you're a calorie counter, you want to keep your meal episodes somewhere between 0. That means eat some air sometime. It's okay to eat air. Eat air, no calories in air. Eat 0 to 400. 400, you could go 500 if you're only doing 2 eating episodes a day. But when you get over that amount of calories, if you're really overdoing it, you're going to start to see some slowdown with your metabolism. There are times I'll eat 1,000 calories in a meal on a perfect day. And that's typically going to be when I've exercised and I'm on 1 meal a day. I pull out the old Herschel Walker plan some days, and I'll do a Tiger 24, and I'll have 800 to 1,000 calories in that 1 meal. But I've worked out, I'm eating quality foods, and actually that's when I feel the best. I've been telling y'all that for several years. I feel the best. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do, but I feel the best when I'm eating 1 meal a day. Since I struggle with that mentally, 2 meals, that's kind of my sweet spot now. But just remember, you can have up to 3. If you're looking for your calorie range that you should stay under during the weight loss phase, take your ideal weight and multiply it times 8. So if you desire to be 200 pounds, that's 1,600 calories. Once you get to 200 pounds, you multiply that number times 10 if you're trying to maintain, and you're going to be right on point, no matter what calculation you use. I don't know. That's just simple. That's a simple calculation, works for everybody. If you're trying to put on muscle, we got to eat quality foods and take the weight you want to be times 12. Does that make sense, everybody? Need those surplus of calories. And then you got your timing rule. And this is why basically I started doing these Tiger days. And I think everybody's right when they criticize this. I do. Why in the world didn't I just have silver, gold, platinum levels? Because I'm crazy. I don't know why I do the things I do. We had Fast Track, and then we had the Journey, and then we had Tiger's Eye, and then Faithfully Fit, and people think it's a bunch of different companies. I wished I'd have done it different, I guess, looking back. But at the time, I had Eye of the Tiger on my mind. And at the time with Faithfully Fit, I had Faith on my mind. So it's just the various levels of the program. So Fast Track, doing the Journey, that's when we're settling in, learning more about Fast Track, learning more about wellness. But Tiger's Eye is when we really get into going to the next level. That's the beginning. It's about body transformation. We're throwing all the gunk out, and we're focused just on the best foods, how to incorporate them for the best level of wellness that we can get. If you're new here and you have not earned the Fast Track badge, you can listen, but just stop, take it with a grain of salt, because what we're doing is building on a nutrition foundation. I don't have to live the Tiger way the rest of my life. Studies show that just incorporating some fasting times here and there helps you. I think that we get in these modes where if we're fascinated with veganism, that we think we're going to do that the rest of our life. Y'all know what I mean. There's something weird going on. There's something really, for me too, I'm becoming weird. So what I mean by that is, it's like everybody's looking for something to belong to. Do y'all know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be a vegan, or I'm a carnivore, and if you really sit down and have a intelligent decision with someone, what you find out they're really trying to accomplish is lose weight. They're trying to cut calories and lose weight, and they want to eat cleaner. I get all that. But if you start looking at carnivorism, just eating meat, or you start looking at just veganism, for most people, they can't stick to that for the rest of their life. I tried to be a vegan for a week, and I like to lost my mind. And then I tried to eat nothing but meat for a week, and I love that. But I don't know, it just didn't feel right to be doing that all the time. And there was some sacrifices to my gut health if I continued that. So why not, when I feel like a vegan, You know, what's in there? A candy bar when you feel like a nut or something like that? Candy bar commercial. Sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. So if I have today, I have a vegan, a plant-based day without the processed plant-based foods, fantastic. My body will reap a benefit. If anything, I'll keep my metabolism guessing by not doing that every day. And then the next day, maybe I feel like a carnivore. I do a lion day. And then the next day, I just feel like doing regular Shibboleth for 2 or 3 days. And then I feel like I'm going to get next week. I got some prayer, the things I need to pray about. I'm going to do a spiritual fast all week next week, and I'm going to incorporate Tiger 36. See, then all of a sudden, when we go back to regular Shibboleth, this is what my experience has been. I know it's anecdotal, but this has been my experience. When I go back to regular Shibboleth, I feel like I'm cheating. Y'all know what I mean? It's like I've had a reset. Cheating ain't cheating anymore because I don't even want to do it. I get to cheat with regular Shibboleth. That's awesome. So just changing the mindset, putting the more of these smooth stones you can put in your shepherd's pouch and pull out depending on how you feel. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Jessica says sometimes you feel like a nut. Yeah, she said it. Yes. Oh, this is recorded, Jennifer. It sure is. All right. So now we're up to speed and we're talking Tiger Days. So the first thing we're going to do, any questions about any of that? Oh, the timing, I didn't go over that. Instead of spreading your meals out 4 to 6 hours, that's fine. That works. But I like to just keep it simple now. Try to go for a 16-hour fast, 8-hour eating window, 16-hour fasting window. 12 is fine too. 12 and 12 is good. You won't turn on autophagy, but 12 and 12 is a good start. That's a good start for us all. Any questions about any of that? Especially if you're kind of new, you might have some questions. While I'm getting this up, you do have time to ask. All right, let's look at navigation of our website. Okay, so first thing we want to do, go to our dashboard, and we're going to go to the Tiger level. Every member here should have access to that. So we've got our little Tiger dashboard. That's where we're sitting today. We've got some Tiger level videos that talk about fasting, and we'll cover the things we're talking about today. You've got easy access to your journal. Now you can add some Tiger days. And then there's Tiger foods. So I'm going to park it right here for a minute. So Tiger foods are going to be typically what we've done is pull a group of foods out of the big library. Variety is the spice of life. In fact, people are afraid of our blue column, where we combine protein and fiber with carbohydrate. The blue column is what saved my life. I already knew intrinsically if I eat chicken and broccoli, I'm going to lose weight. But I didn't know how to eat a tater. I didn't know how to eat corn. So that's the lifestyle column, right? And we have approved so much variety so that we can make this a long-term journey. What we did with Tiger is pull out some processed food that is really good, not really bad. It's really good for weight loss. And we pulled out whole foods and we said, let's narrow the focus, put those in a library. In addition to that, I'm going to teach you today how to approve your own Tiger foods. I still like to see people ask so that we can put it in the library for all of us. But if you're in the grocery store and you put a short link to the Tiger calculator on your phone, you can approve foods right there. Did everybody know that there's a Tiger calculator? No? Where have y'all been?
I knew there was a food calculator, but not a Tiger one. And there's an app for that? I shouldn't be surprised, but there's an app for that?
We're going to turn it into an app. It's not really an app.
I was going to say, dang, let me add some apps.
Yes, ma'am, Sherry. I'll show y'all all how to use that today. So let's talk about in your Dropbox, there's Tiger 16, there's Tiger 24, there's Tiger 36. Okay. So a Tiger 16 is you are just eating from, you've agreed with yourself, because Tiger 16s can become regular Shibboleth days, and that's fine. Think about, we're starting the day with a plan. and we're trying to have a tiger day because we know that's a little better weight loss, a little better for wellness, a little cleaner. And then we get in the middle of the day and we slip up and we have we don't follow the tiger food list. So we still had a 𝐲𝐵 perfect day. Okay. So you start off with the idea that you're going to eat from the tiger list, and what you're trying to do to get a tiger day is to hit these points. The regular 𝐲𝐵 Shield, but with a 16-hour fast, only eating from this food list, only this food list, better days, 16-hour fast, and you're trying, if you're physically able, to get some walking steps in. That's it. That's how we have a Tiger 16. We're tapering our journey up. We're increasing, we're improving ourselves. So here is the only list that you're supposed to use for Tiger days. Now, we're obviously assuming you know how to combine foods. We're not saying that you should eat category 3 carbs by themselves. We're assuming that you know how to eat them with a 1 and 2 or 7 and 2. But everything here is pretty low glycemic. Almost everything listed, as long as you put the approval together. By the way, Lisa, I just spotted something. Are you with me, Lisa? Make sure Lisa's with me. Do me a favor and remove all this beer and alcohol. Would you do that for me? Get that off our list. Thank you, sis. All right, so as we're looking at this, we've got a pretty robust list. Now, I'm going to ask you, just looking at these foods, knowing that you also get holidays, couldn't you live your life with just these foods? Let me pause. I'm feeling, y'all are so good to me this week. I'm feeling a little bravado. May I use it? May I use it? When people say that this isn't a clean eating program, and then I did Faithfully Fit, and boy, did I get knocked upside the head with some rocks over Faithfully Fit, because we were going to go even cleaner. If you look at that Tiger list, it's pretty darn clean, isn't it? It's pretty clean. Those are mostly whole foods. And if we know how to combine them, pretty clean. There's some processed food, but very little, very little. And if we eat these on a portion plate 2 to 3 times a day and we walk and take our supplements, we're going to melt body fat like taking a blowtorch to butter. Now, you can, anytime you want to, just skip this and go right to your complete food library. Notice that I have hearted a lot of these foods. These foods are hearted. That way, the system knows these are my favorite foods. So anytime that you see a food you like, go on and heart it. And that way, when we're working together, I can see what foods that you like. Yes, ma'am, Jeanette, you'll be able to watch this. Now, again, the key here, the main critical point is not just the food list, but the fasting times. You can get 2 to 3 eating episodes in your eating window. Then it's the same rule set, but Tiger 24 is 1 meal a day. Are y'all with me? You're eating 1 meal a day. In that 1 meal, it is okay to add some extra calories. What I usually do is a portion plate and then a bowl of high protein soup or an approved salad. So I'm getting to eat 1 meal, but I'm getting to eat extra portion. I love during my day to look forward to that 1 meal. I get hungry, but I love to look forward to it. And then it's just so good, especially if I'm eating some category 4 protein plus fat with a category 2 vegetable and then a bowl of kettle and fire bone broth. It's so filling, it's so satisfying. I look forward to it all day, and there's a reward. Does that make sense? Just something that you can pull out of the arsenal. Now, very soon we will talk about a training wheel fast where you can have 1 meal a day, but there's some things you can kind of graze on during the day that won't hurt you too bad until you can work into occasionally having that 1 meal a day. There's a lot of science, a lot of studies. Huberman, look up Huberman. He won't agree with me on everything. He's one of the legit folks that you could tune into that I go to learn from. Alex, I believe it's Alex Huberman. He's deep, but be careful. He's a performance guy, so he might have you eating too much. But he gets into the benefits of the 1 meal a day protocol. That's a beautiful, beautiful way to get your health back in order. You're getting in autophagy every day. Then there's the Tiger 36. And when I can pull these off, I just love it. I'm going to go over that with you here in just a moment. I'm going to answer a couple of questions so I don't get too far behind. Is the vault a challenge or program? It's a challenge. The vault is just a secret group. It ain't really secret. It's just a group where I expose people to products that get sent to me for me to try, where they want me to endorse it. And then sometimes we're going to turn that into a little weight loss challenge. All right, let's look at Tiger 36. This is the best way to do it that I have found. So we've got our weekdays. We're trying to have perfect days and all the days ending in Y. I still will tell you the 2 best weeks I've ever had on planet Shibboleth were the 2 hardest, but they were the most rewarding. One was a week where I did 3 Tiger 36 days that week, and the other was doing lion and shark days all week. Best I've ever felt physically. They were challenging, but they were sure rewarding. So Monday, all right, let's put Sunday here in front of the Monday. So if I'm doing a Tiger 36, let's say that I've had some holidays on the weekend, and then Sunday I eat my dinner. I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to eat anything else, and then I'm going to fast all day Monday. And then typically I will eat Tuesday at lunch. And then I'll eat my dinner. And then if I'm going to have another Tiger 36, I do it this way. I expose myself this way. This way I'm getting 108 hours of fasting in a week if I do 3 Tiger 36. Then boy, does it promote self-discipline. Then Thursday, I eat at lunch again, and then Friday, and then I eat on the weekend, okay? You can do that Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. You don't have to do 3 Tiger 36 days to get the benefit. You could just do it one day. You could do this tomorrow. You could not eat dinner and then have a Tiger 36 on Wednesday and then eat again Thursday at lunch. The more of these Tiger 36 days that you incorporate, the more successful you'll be. I want to give you just a heads up though. If your body is carb dependent and you haven't turned your metabolism into an efficient fat burning machine, it's possible that after a Tiger 36, you feel ravenous and you just eat the house down. Now you've negated all of the benefits of it. What has happened is you're doing the Tiger 36, you're not primed and prepped correctly for it, which is fine. You can still do it in the Lord, but you need to be aware that you still have a carbohydrate dependent metabolism and you're going to be ravenous at the end of that 36-hour fast, and you might eat too much and ruin all of the hard work and effort that you just put in. If you have a fat adapted metabolism, you'll never miss a beat. Never miss a beat, because all while you were fasting, your body was fueling itself with fat. So you never get ravenous where your body's having withdrawal symptoms from the sugar. Does that make sense? If you know that you've come off a binge, a carb binge, just know that, look, I'm ravenous right now. I'm going to eat some fat. When you come off of your Tiger 36, it's really good to eat protein, lean protein, or protein plus fat, because you'll get satisfied real quick. Does that make sense, everyone? Any questions about Tiger 16, Tiger 24, Tiger 36? About do you want me to go through a typical day before I move to the calculator?
Hi, Travis. I do. I was going to ask you about the 16. I do pretty good at doing like 12 hours throughout the night, but with my working schedule, I struggle with trying to figure out, because I'm one who likes to chew food.
Yeah.
So, like my typical day, I get up at like 6 or 6:15. I have to be at work at 8:15, and I normally go to lunch at noon, and then I don't get out of work till 5:30, 5:45. So usually I'm eating dinner. I try to eat dinner by 6:30, and I try to cut it off at that time, and then I eat some breakfast at like 6:15 or 6:30 in the morning. So I usually do pretty good with getting about 12. But what would a day look like if I wanted to try to incorporate 16?
Yeah, I usually do 2 meals a day on a 16. You can do 3, you just have a shorter window to get it in. So for me, that looks like if I were doing a Tiger 16, because you count the day where you had the most fasting time as the day. So typically, if I'm getting a 16-hour fast, it looks like I cut off my food last night at 6 p.m. and then I'm not eating again until somewhere around 10 a.m., 12 p.m. I don't make more out of it than needs be. I just know if I'm going to shoot for a Tiger 16 tomorrow or whatever, then when I end my eating, I go into my stopwatch in my phone and I hit start. And I just am not going to eat anything with calories until that 16th hour. I usually wait 17 or 18. So like if I cut my eating off at 6 p.m., then I'm not going to eat again until at least 10 a.m. And for me, it's usually noontime or later. So you're just, don't make more, because like if you're all messed up like I am right now, I don't know when morning is, I don't know when night is. A 16-hour fast for me is I just eat, and now I'm going to fast for 16 hours. So let's say that I eat my first meal today at noon. I have until 8 p.m. to get in my 2 or 3 eating episodes, and then I cut it off again. I usually will do several of these days in succession. When you've stopped having Tiger days and you're looking at how it went over into the other day, because part of your fasting time is your sleeping time, which if you don't know how to count that day, whichever day you had the most time without eating, that's the day that you mark the Tiger 16. It's hard to have one Tiger 16 day because of how it rolls out on your calendar. Typically, you need to plan to do 2 or 3 of those in a row. And then when you stop eating, you say, okay, I'm done at 8 p.m. I'm not eating again until noontime tomorrow. And then that's when I drink water, drink Zip, drink Spark, anything to hang on until the 16-hour threshold's gone. And it gets easier and easier as time goes because your body stops being a carbohydrate-dependent metabolism, and you forced it to put the clutch in and shift and start burning fat. And then your body goes, wow, this is actually a better source of energy than the carbohydrate was.
Okay. Yeah, I've always been breakfast dependent. And of course, I've always lived by that rule that everybody talks about, where breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So if I were doing that, which I wouldn't have a problem doing, it could be something like eat at noon, eat a meal when I get home. And I guess if I felt like I wanted to, around 8 o'clock, I could have a small snack, like a 50-calorie snack or something like that, and then cut it off. So in the morning, I could have something like the Spark or the Zip or
Yes.
coffee or something.
Yes.
Okay, because I know I hear y'all always talking about things that break a fast, but
Yeah.
so
like if you try days like this, like a lot of times I'll take nootropics without eating, like mushroom coffee with some Advocare vanilla creamer in it. I'll do the I'll do things that are really light, almost no calories, really light, and then have one meal in a day. And when we talk breaking the fast, breakfast. So I used to teach at Thrive because that was when I went through all those certifications. That's what they said. And you're like, it makes sense. Get the metabolism stimulated. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Not really. And it's okay to do that. But what's important is that in the appropriate time, we break the fast, hence breakfast. So my breakfast is usually at noonish. I'm breaking my fast. Do you see what I'm saying? In fact, here's another thing that I could make a case for. Is it good for me to jump out of the bed without warming up and go exercise?
Probably not.
No. Neither is it good for us to jump out of the bed when our metabolism's been in hibernation mode all night and stimulate it. Let it wake up, get a little blood flow to the digestive system, and watch what happens to your vitality and energy. Does any of that make sense?
That does make sense.
Oop, the video ended. We lost our feed. Anyways, all right, good deal. Found a box of 𝐬𝐧𝐞 𝐂𝐨𝐚𝐜𝐡 and a great value. All right, let me answer some questions, and we'll look at the calculator. I found a box. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Sally. I found a box of sirloin steak cuts under Great Value brand. The macros look good. Was wondering if they are approved to put with tortilla. Anything that's meat and has, I mean, I could make a case for something different. If you're looking for real meat, whether it's Great Value or Winn-Dixie or whatever it is, if it's got 0 carbohydrate in it, it's close enough to real meat as there is. So if we know it's lean, then it's a category 1. If it's not lean, it's a category 4. So certainly Great Value steaks, if they haven't infused any kind of starch or flavoring systems into them, then we need to look at the carb total. It's going to be fine, and you could absolutely have that with a category 2 tortilla. Some steak fajitas sounds good. I hope I get an invite one day. Carol, so you're saying we should eat something before we exercise? No, I wasn't saying that. So let me unpack that. If I said that, y'all slap me. All right, so eating before exercise is goal dependent. What's your goal? Okay, you cannot lose body fat and put on muscle at the same time. So if we are trying to exercise with the purpose of preserving muscle and burning body fat, it is best to exercise in a fasted state. No food before exercise. You're going to be sluggish. Your body's got to burn those calories before it can burn fat. And trainers will tell you you should have eaten before you come to the gym. Not if your goal is to burn body fat, you shouldn't. If you just have to have something because it's time to eat, and it happens that you can only fit your gym time in right after you eat, then you should be having something pre-digested. You don't want something that's whole food right before you exercise. Not a good idea, because you will involuntarily be digesting the food, have less energy for your exercise session, and you will not burn body fat as efficiently. The only time you should consider eating before a workout is if you're trying to build muscle. And you cannot do both at the same time. You cannot burn fat and put on muscle at the same time. One requires a surplus of calories and the other a deficit. I hope I cleared that up, because I did not mean to lead you down that path. That would not be a good path to lead you down. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. Sometimes you haven't eaten, it's time to eat, and the only time you can work out is right after you eat. Then you deal with it. But it's not the idea, it's not the optimal situation. Anybody else? Anything I've missed? Okay, so let's go and take a look. Gina says, I feel so much better when I skip breakfast. Me too. That's a good goal. 1 to 2 eating episodes a day. Love it. All right, so let's go and look at the calculator. We're favoriting our foods. We're adding them to our grocery list. Then we go to the bottom, and I pull up my food calculator. Now, here is where I can put that short link. I could take this address up here, the calculator address, and I can just add that to my phone like an app. And it's basically a short link on your phone, and you can come right to here as long as you're logged into the website. So this scares me. This calculator scares me. We're going to start tackling this in that new class that Lisa come up with on how to use it properly on Saturday mornings for Faithfully Fit members and partners. But I want to go on and show you this, because if you're in a pinch and you can't get help and you do it right, and you want to prove many foods this way. If you want to find out if you can have a food that's Tiger approved, that's not on the list, we put in the name of the product, and then we come here and put food for a Tiger Day. Does it have a label? All the whole foods that you can have are already there, but you're looking for something processed. Can it be Tiger approved? Is this meal replacement Tiger approved? Then you fill out this information. Let's say that it has 100 calories, 1 gram of fat, 9 calories in a gram of fat. What are the total carbohydrates? Let's say 5. Let's say 1 gram of sugar, no sugar alcohol, 7 grams of fiber, 15 in protein. So let's say that's what the label says, and then we check it. Oop. And it says, your food is Shibboleth approved. This food is approved for Tiger users. And then you can add it to our food library for us to check, and then we're all on the same page with it. Does that make sense? That's how simple it is. And it's going to say no most of the time. The only way we'll approve a Tiger food is if it's very low glycemic, no blood sugar impact. So, and it's basically best to use that as part of like a frozen dinner you're trying to use, or a can of soup you're trying to use, something like that. This is why I'm trying to save the website, Gina. And there's 100 more things on there that nobody knows about. So, any questions or comments? Did y'all have a good time? Learn anything? Y'all know how insecure I am. You have to tell me. We're good. We learned something. We're still members. You're doing your job. Thanks for the heart, Shanice. Thanks, Gina. Thank you, Linda. Anybody get overlooked today? I can't see them on Facebook. The feed stopped. So, Lisa, I don't know why the feed stopped. All right, y'all. Awesome. Good deal. Good deal. Are you likely to burn more muscle if you exercise in a fasted state? Depends. It is very hard. You will lose the fullness of a muscle because you're burning through the sugar. You can burn muscle if you're depleted of glucose and you've been fasting for a long time, you've been under eating for a long time, and you're lifting heavy weights, you can burn up muscle tissue. Yeah. Hopefully y'all aren't doing that. Like if we have to lean into one way or the other, the best thing to do to efficiently burn fat is cardio on a fasted state. Fasted cardio is the best way to burn fat. If I'm weight training and lifting weights other than high repetitions to tone muscle, so it's about intensity. That's what they would call it in exercise physiology. If you're lifting weights in an intense manner, heavy, low reps, full exertion, and you're under eating, that's dangerous. There's so much to unpack there, y'all. It's when any coach is not over, like y'all know how I have a propensity to overtalk and go on and on and on. If any coach is answering that question with a 60-second answer, they're not being honest with you. Does that make sense? There's just too much to unpack there. What is your goal? What is your BMI? What is your body fat percentage? All these things play into that. That's when you really need someone, a personal trainer who knows their stuff and doesn't just know exercise physiology, but knows nutrition. Thanks, Angela. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for you just blessed us. Thank you so much. Aaron says, disturbing news. Bragg sold their company to celebrities. They'll be okay. That company's been run by others for a long time. They're not going, don't worry about it. They know not to remove the mother. Thanks, Cheryl. Did they change it? Maybe I'm wrong, Sheila. I haven't read that. Y'all send me the update. That'll be interesting. I don't put it past them. Thanks, Jennifer. Everybody happy? Any beating off the beaten path questions before we go? We'll be back at 12 with partners and Faithfully Fit members talking about berberine and zip. And then later we'll do a vault session to go over the meal plan, make it easier for people to understand. Then tonight we'll be back again. You like zip, Darla? I love it. Don't you love it? It's different, isn't it? It's different. Talk to us. I use a half a pack in the AM and PM though. Good deal. Good deal. It's potent. I like it. I will, Cheryl. I've got me a little plan, got me a little nap. I got in a little early this morning, got me a nap in, and plan on getting another nap after the vault. I just appreciate y'all loving on me and looking over my faults, and hope you'll just keep supporting us. Yeah, I put a Spark and a caffeinated Zip together, and I thought that I was going to become the greatest American hero. That from that TV show, anybody remember that? I'm showing my age. All right, y'all. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Thank y'all. Sheila said they watered it down. Well, darn. We'll find us a better one. All right. Bye, everybody. God bless. Bye, Joy. Bye, everyone.